Hi everyone!
Hello and welcome to Females Unfiltered.
It's pretty dark outside, which means the lights are extra bright today.
Right, but I like when they're extra bright because they wash everything away. Just like the rain is washing everything away in California, or Southern California, which is a good thing because we complain so much about needing weather, and our prayers were answered.
Our prayers were answered. We got all sorts of weather.
I love it. I love it.
I love it too. I love it too. I did, like 5% of me was like, I just wish it didn't have to be on a day where I have to lug a suitcase across town, but it's fine. It's fine.
No, I feel the same way. It's like, oh, if I could only stay in bed, but you know what, beggars can't be choosy, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's right. The show must go on. Did you have a favorite thing this week, Demi?
I did. What people don't realize, or maybe people who are frequent with the show realize, that it's around that time where it's my nephew's birthday. My nephew turned 9. Turned 9. I can't believe it. I remember when I flew up to his birthday. So happy birthday, Shane. Of course, you know, watch this segment, then don't watch the rest because we get a little, our language sometimes be colorful. And I also had a favorite thing. I'm sure everyone knows that Kevin Hart has been selected to host the Academy Awards.
Oh, I love that.
It was actually something that it was a dream of his, and it's also another, you know, breaking the stereotype and the glass ceiling. So congratulations to Kevin Hart. I will definitely be watching in 2019 because I know he's going to be hilarious.
I love that.
What's your favorite thing?
You know what? I didn't have a solid one, to be honest, and I was telling Demi that on my way here, my windshield like snapped off due to circumstances out of my control. So my favorite thing was that I made it here without an accident.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes you got to look at those lemons and make lemonade. So
right.
Good for you, Chrissy. Good for you.
Yeah. So guys, I know we like to talk about what's going on in the world today. Due to the rain and Chrissy, we're starting late. So we might just get into like one probably is solid. So something that I really wanted to talk about that's going on in the world is, you know, I love Christmas music. We're going to have some Christmas music later today.
Yes, we are. Chrissy can listen to Christmas music all year long. Just to let you guys know.
I mean, I don't like consistently, but if ever I'm like a little bit sad or something, hop on some Christmas music. Always makes everything better. So how about the, you know, the good old song, Baby It's Cold Outside?
Oh, yes. I do like that song.
Okay, so have y'all ever read the lyrics of Baby It's Cold Outside?
I have, and I want you to get into why we're discussing
Okay, so there is a station, and I believe, was it Cleveland, I think? They decided to pull Baby It's Cold Outside from their Christmas music lineup.
And why did they do such a thing?
So here's the thing. I know it has a catchy tune. It's hard to fight the catchy tune, because it is catchy, and I've like found myself singing along to it in the past, for sure. But I have always thought, if you really look at the lyrics and listen to it, it's a pretty like fucked up song. Set to a catchy tune, in my opinion. So here we go. So I went through some of the lyrics, guys.
Okay.
And here's a couple of them. So, well, you know what? I had them. Oh, here we go. So she says, you know, so what's in this drink? And the guy's like, oh, don't worry about it. There's no cabs out there. He doesn't even tell her, like, what the fuck are you giving me, buddy? All right, she's like, I ought to say no, sir. And he's like, well, how about I just move in closer? She's like, well, she's telling you, she's like trying to say no here, buddy.
Right.
And then she flat out says, you're kind of pushy, you know. And he's like, well, I think it's just opportunistic. Hey, you're fucked up, buddy. Then she's like, I gotta go, man. And he's like, come on, it's cold outside. You ain't gotta go nowhere. And she flat out tells him the answer is no.
It does have a bit of a rapey vibe to it.
And he's like, but it's cold outside.
And in the end, she gives up.
And then she says, I can't stay. And he's like, come on, it's cold outside.
Yeah, just a drink more.
Yeah, so if you look at those lyrics, it's like, homegirl's trying to get out of there, and yet he's like, no, let me just maybe spike your drink, let me just give you a cigarette, sister, stick around. So this radio station decided to pull it, and they said, you know, we really don't want to be promoting a culture of like someone trying to say no, and yet he's like, come on, give me the panties, just it.
Well, I think for all the September babies out there, you now know why you were born.
So how did you feel about them pulling it?
I mean, it's one of those songs where it's so old school that, I mean, if we're really going to dig deep and say, oh, no, well, this is promoting that, nobody, I think it's just ridiculous.
Okay.
I think it's a fun song. I mean, I'm not trying to ruffle anyone's feathers, you know, I'm not trying to downplay things that have happened, you know, in the Bill Cosby case or anything like that. However, there are some other songs that, if we went through the dialogue and the catalog of a lot of music that was in the 50s and 60s, there would be no There would be no old jams. I'm sorry.
But you know what? I think that kind of shows, like, because society accepted that back then in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, that's kind of where we're at now. And all these men are like, huh, what? No, that's a thing? Because they're so used to, like, let me just cajole and get my way and get what the fuck I want. So for me, I kind of feel like, yeah, that's where we were, and hopefully that's not where we're headed, and we can turn away from
there
that.
There are no new ones. I mean, Mariah Carey's song, are we going to pull it 40 years from now? All I Want for Christmas?
Well, what do you find controversial about it?
I don't find anything controversial about it, but I think in 40 years, if we're going to dig into the lyrics of a song, you know, I just want you here tonight holding on to me so tight, you know.
Okay.
If you were going to be like, well, what does that mean? You need a man for the holidays? Like,
to me, I don't think that's quite the same comparison of someone flat out saying, you're a little pushy, and he's like, nah, I'm just opportunistic, and she flat out says no, and he's like, no, just stay. To me, she's just, I don't know. Not the same comparison,
like I said at the end, she goes, oh, well, maybe I will. She wanted it.
I disagree. Have you ever been in a circumstance like that?
Where someone's offering me a drink and they're holding the door closed?
No, where someone's like really putting you in a circumstance where you're super uncomfortable, and maybe they're bigger than you, maybe you don't know them super well, and you don't know how to get out of the situation, and they keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and you cave because you don't know any other way to get out of the situation.
Chrissy, I used to date a 6'9" cage fighter who was 270 pounds, and I've never been forced in that situation because I know how to kick ass, so I'm sorry.
And I think that's wonderful. I personally, being honest, have been in that situation, and it's a terrible situation to be in.
Well, happy holidays.
I'm
just saying.
Hey, we're allowed to have discussions where we disagree, guys. That's what's cool about the show. We can each have our own perspective, so there's nothing wrong with that. So on that awesome, lighthearted note, we're going to get into dating advice. How perfectly timed was that, guys?
From a man who's not rapey.
No, but we're going to take a quick break, guys, so we can reset the volume and everything. Everyone hang tight. We'll be right back with Granison Crawford. We'll see you guys in a minute. Hey guys, we're back with Granison.
Yes.
Oh, hey. He joins us once a month for dating advice from someone who isn't dating. It's always good. It's always funny.
I think we need to change to someone who isn't in a steady relationship. Because this man dates.
And this man does date. He does date. But it doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
Is it dates?
I mean,
have you guys defined date on this show?
What is dating?
No, but what is dating too?
What is dating?
Tell us, Granison. What is dating?
You know what? I date a little bit. I date a tiny bit. I date a tiny bit. But yeah,
would you say, would you consider, we can just make this one of our questions. Fine. You're hanging out with someone, okay? You've been maybe going out to dinner, maybe going out to the movies.
Staple date
maybe hanging out at your house. When does it become hanging out with someone to dating someone?
Oh, good question.
I think that comes from the discussion.
So there needs to be discussion.
Yeah, you got to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
It's a crazy idea, communication. But it's the oldest thing. Back in the day, they used to use smoke signals. That was fun. It was harder to say I loved you with that.
Right.
Cave drawings. They were all just trying to communicate.
Right.
And in today's era, we have so many forms of communication, but we don't use any of them, especially when it comes to things that are important to us.
Thank you for saying that.
It's important.
So, and would you say, it's like a progression, right? You're hanging out with someone, then you're dating someone.
Which means you call them sometimes.
And then you become boyfriend, girlfriend. So dating and boyfriend, girlfriend, would you say there's two different...
Still the talk. There's always the talk. Because some people have different ideas of what they want in companionship. Some people aren't necessarily like, I need to see you all the time. Other people's, it just depends on like the language they speak. So like, for me, we need to talk and go, hey, this is what the direction I'm headed. Do you want to head this direction with me? What are some things you like? What are some things that, you know, you would love to see grow in this situation? Like, hey, G, you could put your jacket on the hanger sometimes. Maybe don't just throw it on the floor before you go to bed. I'm just speaking as someone who might see me in that light. Recycling, I could take that out more.
Okay.
I'm with that.
That's a big step.
But I learned. You know what I mean? I learned quick.
So for you, is there a difference between dating and boyfriend, girlfriend, or do you just like hang out with someone, you really vibe them, then you're boyfriend, girlfriend?
If there wasn't a difference, then you couldn't ask that question.
I mean, for you personally. I think for some people there are, some people aren't.
But for me, yeah, being boyfriend, girlfriend is something that is like, that's what we're going for. I'm hella loyal. Like for me, I don't see a reason to like take off on it. This is like a nerdy way of putting this. But take off on an adventure with someone and then decide halfway to just leave the party. What's up, Dungeons and Dragons? Sorry, I've been nerding out all day. I'm watching too many YouTube videos.
Dragons.
Oh, all right.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
so-
follow up on that, since I think
Of
you
course.
brought up a great meaning of having the talk before you're established as a unit.
Yeah, always party with your partner.
There you go.
There it is.
When you are dating, say you're dating 2 or 3 people, and then before
Yeah.
you have that talk with that person, is it okay to have those 2 or 3 people as multiple sexual partners?
Right.
I think that again is up to you, and I mean obviously there's communication in there.
Right, or do
but
you
like,
wait until you go that one person?
like do you
Like, do
wait?
you dip
Dip
your
your
toe
toe.
in all the ponds, or do you say, "Hey, I've gotten to know these 3, but this one is the one that I am
That
really
deserves
vibing with,
the toe
so
dip."
I'm
Being
going to give
real,
her the D."
If no one asks me, and we're just hanging out and haven't talked about anything else, then I'm
You're dipping.
okay if they are doing that, and I'm okay with me doing it
Okay.
because we haven't established
True.
that we're a us.
Right.
Does that make
Well,
sense?
no, for sure.
We ain't
Absolutely.
a us yet. you know?
Right. You're not at us yet.
Yeah, we not a us yet. So I think that, but if that's not okay, then hopefully you would learn that very early on.
Right.
Hopefully you would learn that before you ever hung out. Like you'd be like, all right, I'm looking for this. Does that mean that while we're trying to figure out what we are, you're going to be doing that? Because
Right.
I would rather not. And then you can be like,
Right.
oh, all right, well, cool. Because for me, like, I think I talked about this before, but like for me especially, like, sex is dope. Sex is dope.
Use a condom.
Let that be a holiday thing. Use a condom. Look both ways. All right. Not about sex, more about the traffic. It's been raining.
I was like,
all right.
both ways.
Look
I was
both
like,
ways.
what
It's
does
been
that?
raining
Double
outside.
four.
Everybody look
Freaking
gay.
crazy out there.
Everybody look gay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, you down with OPP?
Can we get away with it? Can we get away with it?
Granison told me to look both ways. So like, hey.
I don't see nobody. No, that was good. That was good. What the heck was I talking about?
How stoned are you right now, Granison? I'm just
A little
curious.
high. I'm a
thought
little
so.
high.
It's fine. That's fine.
But not crazy high.
Yeah.
Like, I make sense.
So here's what I noticed. In your 30s, those kinds of questions like, what do you want in life? Where are you going? Blah, 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 blah. I feel very comfortable having those kinds of conversations on like the first date.
Sure.
Because it's like, I'm not wasting your time. You're not wasting my time.
Yeah.
Like either we're like going through life together or we're not.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like I always talk about kids on the first date. You want kids? I don't fucking want kids. You want kids? Oh, this ain't gonna work. Bye.
Yeah. But you're like, but I will have the calamari. That will be good.
So do you find it's easier to talk about like, are you trying to be monogamous eventually? Are you like a one-trick pony? Like, is it easy for you to talk about that shit
I
on
don't
the first
mind
date
talking
now?
about it.
Yeah.
I don't mind talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, and typically in the past, I've been much better about just saying it full out. Like, okay, if you're looking for something, not that I'm just hanging out and
He's
chilling.
like, I just
Like,
segment on a
we
show
can
once a
be-
month and I can't lock
we
it
can
down
be
with
cool. I
anybody.
gotta do a segment. I gotta commit to that segment. Honestly, these ladies are depending on me.
A method actor here.
Yeah. You know.
What about you? Can you get into those kinds of combos on the first date?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if it's a really good date and we start talking and it's like, you know, one of those things where, hey, we've actually ordered dessert because we enjoy each other's company,
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
then yeah, you know. But if it's that first date and I can tell,
And you can tell.
then
you can
there's
tell
no
in-
point. There's no point
Right,
because
absolutely.
I don't even, like, let a guy pick me up on the first date because I don't want you to know my address.
Do
So
guys
why?
actually offer to do that anymore? Is that a thing that
If they have
happens?
cars, guys, that's
Yeah.
the key. Okay. You have a car, get her.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Or
a
him.
it's a nice
Or him.
gesture.
Who knows?
That's right, because you got to look both ways.
You gotta look
Yeah,
both
but
ways.
look both ways. Back to it. Callbacks.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And we're so Hollywood. We talk about second dates as callbacks.
No, I talk about that joke as a callback.
Good.
If the second date, hey, you've got a callback. I'd love to see you again. Bring a headshot. The producers will be there.
Cannot. Could you imagine?
So I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Do you guys have like, I don't know if test is the right word, but a thing that you like to do to see, okay, is this relationship gonna stand up? Like, for me, I think it's a good idea if you're really serious about someone, you see potential in the long term, like, go on a road trip with them. then you're really gonna see,
That's
you know,
fine.
like how well do you get along? Because you're gonna be in each other's presence in confined spaces for an extended amount of time. Like my sister has this boyfriend. Sorry, Wendy, I'm just gonna put it out there
Hi,
right now.
Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
What's up, Wendy?
I don't know if your boyfriend's watching, but hey. So my sister
hope
has a
so.
boyfriend, and he lives in London. And they connected once. They got along great, great, great. Everyone gets along the first time. It's like, oh, it's new, it's magical, wow. So then he came here for Thanksgiving. He was here for 10 days straight in my house with my sister in her room.
Oh.
And they were just always, you know, like she just always with them all the time. So anywhere they'd go, he was there. And so I just thought, well, that's interesting. How do you feel about him now that you had so much exposure to him? Do you still feel good? Do you still want to continue forward? So do you guys have anything that you think is like, all right, let's see if this shit's going to work. Let's try this out.
I don't have any go-tos to test someone's compatibility with me, because most of the time that I think that, like, especially I've had a couple of long relationships. Like one was almost 4 years, and in that time, I found that majority of the time, you guys aren't doing anything crazy. Like after a while, you're just like, all right, we go and do stuff. You know, we hang out at the house. Most of your day is regular stuff.
Right.
So definitely, if your road trip is a good test, because there's a lot of nothing time in that, unless you're like have an itinerary for your road trip that's insane. Like you're like, we'll check in, you know, go to the ball pit, order a Big Mac. Who knows? We don't know. And assuming you didn't bring a propane tank,
for sure.
bring a propane tank.
Yeah,
guys.
why not do that?
For your lady or your man.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I definitely think that. God damn it, you guys! I lost my thought again.
No, you're saying you
So
didn't have a
stoned
go-to. You said that the road trip is a
it's
good
a
go-to.
it's a good way to get personal and, like, you know, close to somebody. Also, get locked up with them, because then you'll be
Like in jail?
you'll be sharing
but
the same room for a while.
But they
whole night.
they separate men and
You
well,
can't do
unless
it.
you're a same-sex couple, you'll be great. You can get locked up together.
You can in a holding tank.
That's true, in a holding tank.
don't
They
think
put men
that's
and women together in
I
holding
don't think
tanks?
that's true either.
I feel like that's
No, it's
yeah.
not
I
true.
feel like that doesn't happen. Okay,
Escape room.
escape room. I think that'd be fun.
That would be great.
Okay. Also, how about living together before marriage? I mean, I think that's such an
assume
antiquated
that you would do
thought.
that.
I think everyone should live together before they
Always,
get married.
Of course.
I mean, are his fucking socks on the floor
How
gonna drive
will
you
you
up
know
the wall?
how they live?
Exactly.
They don't. They clean up. I clean up before people come over.
Right,
You
no,
gotta-
but I know like some people would think that was a faux pas depending on your religious beliefs.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
So,
True.
But also, where does it say that? Controversial? Possibly. But no one. I don't think that's in the Bible. that you
I feel
can't
like
do
that. I don't know. Is that in the Bible?
I don't know. You
I
guys
don't
let
know.
us know.
I don't know,
Read
guys.
it.
I don't really
Look it
read
up.
the Bible,
There's
to
chapters.
be honest. So.
Well, I just know for myself, like, I was in a relationship for 7.5 years.
Yep.
Engagement, all that. And then it just, as we got older, we both started to realize that things about us start to shift and change. It was young love. So we did live together prior. And it's one of those things where I do believe living together. It's a great thing. But for me now, I hold my family at such a high standard that my family is like, oh, you don't bring anyone about, you don't bring anyone out. Yes, that is true. Because I hold my family at a high standard. So if I bring you to meet my family, there's going to be a ring involved.
Oh, so you're not bringing anyone to meet the family and
Wait,
there's
they
some rings
can't
involved.
Nope.
before they propose?
That's
They can
interesting.
meet my friends because I value my friends' opinion. However, my family is my sacred. So if it's a holiday,
Interesting.
Wouldn't you want them to know?
no, I'm saying there better be a ring involved. Like I'm bringing you around
Okay.
the next day.
Oh, got you.
You gotta have
Okay.
that
You've
Tiffany
already
box
been bringing
ready.
them around, but now.
No,
No,
you're not meeting the
Haven't
family,
at all.
period,
My family.
unless
Yeah.
there's a ring
Oh,
involved.
that I don't
Absolutely.
know. Well, good. Good.
That's just me
no,
personally.
that's
No,
you.
that's
That's
okay.
just
No,
me.
that, and that's not,
My
that's different.
brother,
Yeah.
I've met plenty of his girlfriends.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of them have been very nice. In fact, there was one that I really grew attached to, but then they didn't work out.
Question.
Answer.
But is it important to you if your family likes the person you're with? I'm assuming that is important to you, since your family is very important to you. So what if it's a situation where you bring the guy around to the family first time, he proposes the next day, and then 2 weeks go by, hang out more with the family's like, I don't think he's right for you, Demi. I don't think so.
then I will listen to my family and I will see why. And if there are valid reasons, then I will evaluate that. Because my family is everything. My family has been there for me through thick and thin.
Right.
Probably
So
from
would
day
you,
one,
obviously
I'd
you'd call
say.
off the
Like
engagement.
my mother.
At day one, Mom,
There you go.
I'm down for my day one.
That's exactly right.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting.
My family knows
Zach.
that. I've established that with
That's
them,
cool.
so.
Right, which is totally cool. I just, you wouldn't want to get like the, don't do the engagement yet unless they meet the family, in case the family doesn't approve.
You know what? I'm not 21 anymore, so my family knows my judgment and they know like the level of my expectations, so they trust me.
Yeah, but that person doesn't know your family.
So when that person meets my family, you know, it's an accepting thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, your family sounds cool.
They're awesome. I love my family. Shout out to all my family. I know my
Shout out
Uncle
to the
Carl
fam.
watches all the time. Uncle Carl's like another father. In fact, he and I had the conversation at Thanksgiving. I said because my father's no longer here, so he's walking me down the aisle.
Aww. Well,
Yeah.
shout out to you. That's very sweet. Okay, do we have any more dating questions for Granison?
Tell me.
I'm asking. Do we good? I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Anything you want to update us on your life there, Granison?
What's going on with you?
You got a lady?
I'm wearing jackets more.
Love that. I love
real,
jackets.
It's the winter.
Yep.
It's winter time.
No,
Is there a female in your life?
Cuffing season. Yeah, no, I'm gonna get to it, guys.
Yeah, how's the cuffing season going? Have you cuffed
female
anyone?
stuff,
Anyone cuffed you?
No one's cuffed me.
Not with all this weather? I mean, it's
Not
really
with all
nice to
this
snuggle
weather.
with
It's
someone
baby
in this
making
weather.
weather.
Nah, but then people can't get out a lot. They can't go out. It's raining, so they're like, can't.
They can Uber
No,
to
I don't
you.
have anybody right now. I'm
I
not
had
worried
someone
about it.
take the public transportation from Compton to see me. I
That's
was
real.
like, that's kind of a big
How did
deal
it go?
in this weather.
Doesn't your dog bite? What happened?
Not my dog, my sister's dog.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he was so nice. He was so patient and nice, and the dog liked him.
That's awesome.
I know.
I'm
Went well.
proud of that dude.
Yeah, you know.
You go Compton.
We'll just call him Compton on the
Go,
show.
Go, young
we
Compton.
won't reveal
Young
names.
Compton. Thank you guys for having me.
God, thanks, Chris. So
Yeah, it's been
happy
dope.
holidays, Merry Christmas,
Happy
Hanukkah,
everything.
all of the
it.
above to
Yeah.
you.
I'm with it. My
You gotta
mom's
be
coming
playing.
down.
Mom's coming down?
Mom's coming down.
When is she coming?
I don't know. She's gonna come later. All right. My day one.
Well, you
My
make
day
That's
sure to let her
right.
know she cannot meet Demi unless you have a ring on that
That's
finger.
very true.
That's
No,
right.
that's not true. That's for her family.
True.
Oh.
For my family,
true.
my mom would just be like, "Who is this?" And I'd be like, "This is Demi. We're friends." She'd be like, "Glad I got to meet her."
Your mom sounds
Thanks, Mom.
adorable.
She's the best.
Next thing you know, you're gonna come home and be like, "Are y'all cooking together?" And all of a sudden, I'm calling your mom. She's like, "I can't talk to you, Granison. Demi's on the phone."
All right,
Oh.
This is the last thing. So I randomly decided to ask friends what my worst quality was. Don't recommend it, but my mom, when somebody hurt my feelings. They were like, "I don't know, your crooked tooth." I was like, "Fuck off, man. You can leave my life." Anyway, I'm joking, Liam. You're cool.
Liam.
And so my mom is adorable. I'm gonna get out of here. She goes, she had nothing. So instead of just saying nothing, she goes, "I don't know. Maybe you're funny too many times." Which is not even a thing. Like
That's cute.
I'm a comedian. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Your
Grayson,
mom's funny.
You got some shows coming out? Tell people where they can find, follow,
I
and
have a
support
bunch
you.
of shows. I know it's listed, but I don't actually have a show Friday. Canceled. But check out my Instagram. I'll be putting my upcoming show list on Saturday.
Cool.
You can find me on Instagram at Granison. That's Insta, Granison. And yeah, that's the best place.
That's the best.
Hit me up. What's up?
Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get all set up for our guest, Meredith. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a jiff, guys. Take care. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome.
Meredith is in the house. Welcome to the show, Meredith.
Thank you.
And you all may recognize this woman. I mean, not may. You will recognize this
everything?
woman. She has everything. She has over 100 IMDb credits.
Which is
I mean,
awesome.
It's so amazing. That is a working actress right there, hon.
Well,
Booked and busy.
So true. What I like about Meredith is you're kind of like my dream actress because I'm obsessed with Christmas.
She is.
Especially like Christmas movies. And you've been in so many of them. And I love
Merry
that.
Christmas.
Yes, you become. Do you like being like the go-to Christmas gal?
Oh my goodness, who wouldn't? Hey, Christmas comes every year.
Yes.
So if I can count on a job around when it's 100 degrees in the valley, shooting a Christmas movie, and then it comes out at Christmas, life is pretty good. I will take that any day. Yeah, no, it's super fun, and you don't go home and cry into your pillow about the sad stuff you drudge out on some of my other Lifetime movies. You
Yes.
actually go home and go, you know what, there's hope in the world and forgiveness. And so, yeah, I'm really, really lucky to have kind of fallen into this little niche.
Yeah, and so how did you fall into the Christmas market?
Total mistake. I just, I auditioned for this movie. I actually had worked with a couple of the producers on the Christmas in Vermont with Chevy Chase. Chevy was not involved at the time, so it was like Christmas. It just kept giving. I was like, wait, more. So I knew a couple of the producers, hadn't worked with the director before. They were shooting off in New York. They wanted me to be on tape. They put me on tape for a couple of roles, and they were kind of deciding on me. A big storm was coming to Buffalo. They had to shoot my scenes, and they're like, Meredith, get on a plane. We have to. And I was like, oh, I guess I got the job. Like, I knew. So they were like, can you get on a plane tomorrow? I was like, yes, and. Let's go. So I got, first time ever in Buffalo, New York, got off the plane, and luckily, the storm didn't come, so there was no snow in Vermont, aka Buffalo, that year. But I still, so I got there, and I didn't know who was going to be playing my boss at the time. I knew they wanted a name, so we're actually shooting scenes not knowing who this boss character would be, and it just kept getting better for me. First, Dana, my character, had a couple of scenes, and then they're like, oh, you know, we hired Chevy Chase. Wouldn't it be great if Meredith and Chevy Chase show up together at the Christmas party at the end of the movie? I was like, wait, so then they were like, do you want to stay in town, you know, a little longer? I was like, wait, you're asking me to stay and shoot with Chevy Chase? I was like, let me think about that. I think I have to rush off to an audition in LA. I was like, yes, okay, yeah. And then it just kept getting better, and then so then I became like the business date of Chevy's at the end of the movie. So I was like, okay. And then we had to come back here and shoot some stuff with Chevy, and then suddenly I get my pages for another thing, and they just decided they'd tie me in a little more, and then I get this one more lovely scene who Chevy's daughter got to come in and play the waitress in, and I was like, wait, this just can't be real, right? So then from that, those producers who had never worked with me before, a couple of the associate producers have worked with me, but the major producers, they just decided, oh, we like Meredith, and I've been playing 3 years in a row, playing these kind of boss type characters. Some are nicer than others, but you know, I'll take it. I will be the boss. I will be the bougie holiday boss lady for as long as you call. I'm there. I'm on board.
You know, what a great compliment too, that they liked you so much they kept writing you more pages. I mean, that's amazing.
And I have to say that was actually a compliment to the writer, because he just had this love for this woman of Dana, and she didn't get written into another one of his movies, and so he really liked this woman. And so Michael, I hope I don't butcher his name, Michael Venari. I hope I didn't just butcher your name, because he is on Facebook. He's my Facebook friend. But he just was like, he kept writing Dana better and better. So thank you, Michael, for writing a really positive, strong woman character that supported the younger woman in the film.
That's fantastic.
So I like to say Dana saved Christmas.
Christmas.
2019, Dana Saves Christmas. That's the film. That is exactly it.
So I know you originally were born in Alaska.
I lived, yes. I was born in New Hampshire, but I moved to Alaska when I was an itty-bitty baby.
Yeah.
So I was an infant when I moved to Alaska, so I'm practically born in Alaska.
Right.
My first 7 years, my formative years, I lived above the Arctic Circle in a village. It was called Point Barrow, Alaska. I actually had an Inuit name. I didn't even know.
Can you share?
Sure. It was Chuki.
Oh, Chuki.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, that's fun and cute.
It's Chuk. In Inupiat, the language they spoke in the village, Chuk meant junior, and when they found out I was named after my father, and I think they also a bunch of the natives, my parents taught Native Americans, they said, oh well, she looks like you, so I got the nickname Chuk, which became Chuk. They made it more feminine sounding. They made Chuki, and I went by Chuki until I moved down to the lower 48, as we call it, and until I moved to New Hampshire, where my mom was from, and then I started being called Meredith. But a lot of people in my family still kind of are like, they have to force themselves to say Meredith in public because I'm chooky.
Oh, that's so
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah, it adds a little spice to like my white girl personality. I'm extremely white, but I was like, but I have an Inuit name.
So did you speak the native tongue?
No, I learned a little bit in school, and quite honestly, the only things I remember are the things that sounded like dirty words. Like,
I mean, that happens.
You know,
yeah.
So I can say my name is in like Spanish and Norwegian, but I can't say my name is in Inuit. But I know that the number 3 sounds like a male's anatomy.
You can say it on the show. We're fine with that. We say everything.
A little fun fact for a holiday.
When you're learning your Inupiat, you will get stuck on number 3.
So with living in New Hampshire, that's when you started to first get involved in theater, and then I saw that you went from your college years. That's when you kind of landed your first big role in Pleasantville.
Yeah.
How do you go from like New Hampshire to LA?
I didn't do it very gracefully, honestly. I was like,
Do any of us?
No. I had gone to the University of New Hampshire for a year, and at my parents really were pushing me to. They were both educators. They were like, oh, the acting thing. They always supported me, but they'll support you until you go, hey, I want to do this as a living.
Yes.
Right.
Like all your dance classes, all your singing classes paid for,
Right.
and then you're like, yeah, but I want to do this. They're like, no, you should be a teacher, which is. I have become a teacher in many ways.
Absolutely.
Through my acting, I've taught improv. So teaching is a wonderful profession, and my parents were wonderful at it. I just was like secretly going, I'm not going to be a teacher.
Right.
Like I'm going to pretend I'm going to be a teacher, and I'm going to get my theater degree, and I'm going to leave. But then I started to get scared. What if I never leave? So I was doing summer stock in Berwick, Maine, just across the border, and I was like, I'm gonna get stuck here if I don't go. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And so I applied secretly to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Shut the front door. That's where I went. Yes. Yes, the one out here.
You went, then that means you went to like the trendy, cool campus, like
They went to the
La
one in
Brea.
Hollywood. Yes, I
Okay,
did. You went to the one in Pasadena?
I went to the broken down elementary school in Pasadena. The fancy American Academy of Dramatic Arts, the oldest English-speaking conservatory,
It is,
older than RADA, right? And I get there like fresh off the boat.
Right.
And is that okay to say fresh off the plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Inuit. So I get there fresh off the plane, and I'm like, I guess it's the bus in my case.
There you go.
Fresh off the bus, and I'm like,
I
was like, this is a Broken Hill Elementary School, and my father was like, he flew down from Alaska to help me get settled in, and my father looked at me and he said, you can go home. It's okay. Like, it was actually really loving. He said the same thing to me right before my failed marriage, like, you don't have to do this. Like, it was a really loving thing to say.
Right.
Like, he saw the disappointment in my face, and he said, it's okay, Chuki, if you go home. And I remember just being like, oh. And then, like I said, 15 years later, he was like, you don't have to get married. And I was like, no, I'm good. So I've been far more successful in Hollywood than I was with that marriage.
Haven't we all?
It happens, girl. I was in a 12-year relationship that met its demise, so it happened.
Speaking of the dating. Yeah. So then that's how I got here. I had the American Academy.
Yes.
And so it was a bit of a safety net, not a huge safety net.
Right, but a little bit.
Even though it was Pasadena, it was still a huge change from the island in New Hampshire that I was currently living on. So I was like, total blind faith.
Yeah.
Big stars in my eyes and total blind faith. And sometimes I'm like, I need some of that like naive blind faith. That I had
Naive
back
blind
in the
faith
day.
is great.
Yeah. I mean, we're lucky we survive it, because I was like driving around in LA like there were no GP. I love to tell my Hollywood horror story. Like I'm like any millennials, I was like, well, in my day,
Right.
I had a
Guide.
Thomas guide, and I had to look things up.
I had a friend from
I didn't tell
MapQuest.
you to buy the Thomas
Oh
guide.
my God.
I had a big thick book. I remember like pulling over the side of the road sometimes and being like, oh, I gotta turn the page
And
now.
then, do you remember how every time the most used page would end up gone?
Yes.
Because
Right,
it's like,
right.
so it was probably like the Hollywood and Vine one was like gone. But I'm pretty proud of that because my friends that moved out here and had GPS, like I'm like, I know this city like the back of my hand. Like I
Yes.
can get anywhere. And then I have friends that I'm like, how did I get from the Valley to Hollywood faster than you got from Hollywood to Hollywood? Well, I took Sunset Boulevard. I'm like, why would you ever do that at 6 o'clock at night? Well, my GPS told me to. I was like, see?
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so then I just came here,
Yeah.
little New Hampshire girl.
Yeah.
Never even had mail delivered to my house before I lived in California.
What?
That's how small the towns I
Really?
lived in.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember like my first apartment, like coming down the stairs, and it was so cool that mail came to my house, and I didn't have to go to the post office. I know.
That's
It's
so
like,
cute.
As I said, count your blessings this holiday season. Y'all don't even realize. Humble yourselves. Like when you say things like people will be like, what? Like, yeah.
post office.
Some of y'all have not lived. Your first world problems, yeah. Exactly.
40 below zero, your mail doesn't seem that important, right?
Well,
We're in
I think-
Alaska.
Right?
And I think that your life lessons and everything that you've done, they equate to all the characters that you portray.
I think so. I would hope so. People, it's funny because I look kind of like the bougie, New England,
Bossy lady?
Yeah, and then, but it's like, but thank goodness that I have, my parents. I was so lucky that I had those years in Alaska, where I got to be the minority. I got to see life from a different perspective, and then of course, then I went to New Hampshire, and then I was a majority again. But like those 7 years in the village, that I got to see that there's whole other cultures that are not like not like what we see down here too. And there's whole other cultures, and I mean, we could talk for a very long time about what we've done in this country to Native Americans and to Native Eskimos. And it's like, so I got to see a lot of that firsthand, the alcoholism in the village, and so yeah, that helped me see that the world is a little bigger. Now, I still in my 20s still thought the world was about this big.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, we all do.
But now I have the perspective and look back and realize that all of the stuff my parents gave me, like I had such stars in my eyes. I wanted to be in New York like at 10.
Right.
The fact that I got
Right.
to have a childhood in different places.
Absolutely.
And then came here with those life experiences. It's a good thing. I wouldn't
Totally a good
I
thing.
wouldn't change it. I don't think.
No, I think it shapes you. I lived internationally as well growing up, and I just think it's the best thing in the world to just get that world perspective in there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, speaking of world perspective, I kind of think that your holiday film touches a bit of that, and also current events.
True.
Because
yes.
let's talk about that. I know Chrissy wants to introduce it. I'm already ready
yeah.
to.
Guys, who doesn't want to have a Christmas in royal fashion? I mean,
I know, it's so funny because when I auditioned, it had a working title. And so I was like, well, I know there's going to be Christmas in it, and I know
Right.
there's going to be something about a
Right.
prince or royal.
Right.
And so, but I was waiting. What is
What
it
is
going to
it gonna
be? So, yeah. I mean, it ties in everything, like everything that like the little girl is raised to think is, they fall in love with the prince and
Right.
the holidays, and so it ties all of that in, and yeah, it doesn't hurt that there was a couple of royal weddings this year.
right.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy. Throw royal in there, throw Christmas in there. I will. I'm not the royalty.
Which I was a bit surprised because as soon as I was given the trailer, I was like, oh, she's going to be the princess, and I was like, wait a second. But your character is very pivotal. Tell the audience the name of the film.
Whatever you want to divulge, because we know it's not out yet.
It premieres on December 16th, so it's a nice Sunday premiere, cozy Sunday premiere on Ion Television. I believe this is their 10th season of being in the Christmas game, and let's see. Yes, I get to. I guess I'm a little bit of the Grinch, though I do help the stuff.
You're a little bossy.
I'm a little bossy. If I didn't leave town on business,
right,
then my assistant wouldn't have been mistaken for me. If I'm like the Prince. I have this one scene where I'm like trying to invite. I love it. Where I'm like trying to invite the Prince for lunch. He's already fallen in love with the ingenue, and I'm just like, let's get to know each other better. And he's like, I'm good. I don't think he wanted the cougar queen. He wanted the ingenue princess.
There are plenty of men out there that do. All right, plenty.
The cougar queen.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not a very nice boss. I am bossy to my young assistant, and she gets mistaken for me. And the Prince falls in love with her, and then I come back and can't believe what's gone on and throw a little tantrum. Then it may or may not all wrap up and be happy in the end. You'll have to watch and see.
I mean, he could always leave the ingenue and go for her, guys. We don't know.
Exactly.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Well, he kind of has a hot father with a British,
a Britishy
accent of some sort. We're not exactly sure where the kingdom is in the world. It's a fictional kingdom.
Right.
I could be the queen of Edgemore.
Don't you love how, like, whenever it's royalty, everyone assumes it's just go with the British accent?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Unless it's coming to America, then you need like a really, then you need some sort of African dialect.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's true. It's always. I think Dermot is. I think he's Irish.
Who doesn't love an Irish accent? I personally think they're very interesting.
I think the Irish accent is very dirty sexy, isn't it?
It's
just kind of like you just want to like sit in a pub and throw down a few beers.
There you go.
That I dated an Irish guy. His nickname was Dirty Sexy.
Wait. Was this the guy who, when you attempted to have a little like phone sex with him, he was like, "I'm gonna shut that down. We're not gonna."
Been listening to my podcast with Jordan. I am. Yes, that's funny. Oh, that I did post that today. That wonderful man.
Tell us the story.
Oh, okay. So some of the greatest stuff. So I was very busy doing stand-up comedy a number of years
Which
ago.
we love.
Thank
That's amazing.
you,
A woman in
thank you.
stand-up.
Yeah.
Hey.
So a couple of my best jokes came from a relationship that I had. He was 10 years older than I. This was years ago, and he's now a big producer in town and married, has children. We're friendly. We run into each other in industry things. He's lovely, and so but there was a 10-year age difference, and so I was just this wild 25-year-old,
right.
and he was kind of a Midwest conservative guy, and I'm on this tour, and wanted to have a little. I didn't even know what phone sex was. I swear, I don't think there was a term for it. I'm sure there was when I'm playing. But anyway, so I'm on this just awful musical theater tour that was just like one of the worst experiences of my professional career, and so I'm dying, and then I ended up getting in a fight with the female roommate that I had because she was a total alcoholic, and then so she didn't want to be my roommate anymore, so I ended up with a young homosexual guy who I don't think I realized was homosexual at the time. Like, I think I probably wanted to get it on with him too, but I'm on the phone with and we're using calling cards. I'm calling him from the hotel on calling cards because there's no cell phones.
Right.
And then my roommate leaves the room, and I was like, "Hey, my roommate just left the room. Do you want to talk dirty? Like we could, And he was like, "Babe, it's long distance."
Mood killer.
Yeah. And then, and that's the same person that. Oh, I'm
guy says
too dirty.
no? It's
I'm
long
like a
distance.
very proper.
Yeah,
I'm a
we're
very
not proper on this
Christmas
show at all.
actress.
all right. We yield.
There are many stories. If you want to know,
proper Christmas actress.
Just look at my just Google my stand-up if you want the rest of these stories.
Stand-up, the podcast, that to be continued.
Yeah.
He's wanting more of Meredith, because I want more of Meredith. I can't wait for the 16th.
All Meredith, all the time.
Right?
Hashtag very Meredith Christmas.
Yeah, we should shout out. We have a couple more films coming out in December, guys. Not just that one. That are already out, but are replaying, right? So we've got A Christmas in Vermont, right? It's re-airing. Well, that came out November 25th, but also December 15th.
It's also re-airing on this Up network,
Uplifting
network.
Uplifting. Yep, we love that.
So it's airing on a couple of networks this year, and then
Ugly Christmas Sweater.
Ugly Christmas Sweater on Lifetime Movie Channel if you want more of that.
Oh, who doesn't love a good Lifetime movie?
I like the Ugly Christmas. It's funny because I just keep getting all these emails about ugly Christmas sweaters, and my dad's girlfriend didn't understand that that my movie didn't create the ugly Christmas sweater. And I was like, no. The movie is trying to get off. The movie is
coming from the concept.
From the concept,
right.
Like not because then she bought me like look, I got you this ugly Christmas sweater, like as if it but you know, I like it and I've worn it, but I was like, oh no that.
I have a proud moment. Let her have her proud moment.
And we gotta say congrats because you have a project headed to Sundance, right?
Yes,
so yay!
I just found out on Monday. Thanks to good old good old Google alerts, I was like, oh, I was in the Hollywood Reporter yesterday.
Love that.
So this, it's such a cool project. It's called Quarter Life Poetry, and I play a mean boss in that.
What?
So I'm super excited. It's always the ones that you're not thinking about. I think that all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, that's yay, because I've shot so many projects and I'm like, this is the Sundance one. I guarantee it's going to Sundance. And then I'm like, nope. And then the day I'm like obsessing on the job I didn't get, I'm like, oh, I'm going to Sundance.
There you go.
Yay.
So,
well, congratulations.
yeah,
That's
absolutely
amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, before we go, weird fact for you. There's another Meredith Thomas in this world who was a senior commander in the Royal Air Force.
Yes.
And I was like, look at that. You and good old.
And I love that it was a man, too.
Yeah, Second World War, a little flying ace out there. And I was like, look at those two Merediths just taking shit over.
Well, I'm the first female in a long line of Thomas men to have my dad. It's my dad's middle name. It was my grandfather's middle name.
Okay.
It's his father's middle name. So I always say that's why I've got such balls, you know, because I'm the first Thomas, female Thomas Meredith.
I love that. She does got balls, guys.
Yeah.
Christmas ones at that.
Merry Christmas balls.
Jingle balls.
Yeah.
Jingle balls. Well, we would love to talk more with you, Meredith, but we do have a live performance coming up. We've got to get to. So everyone, please find, follow, and support Meredith. Check out her Christmas films this season. Where can people find, follow, and support you?
At Meredith Actress, all over the place. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
We do love it. You are welcome back anytime you have something going on and you want to share it.
Christmas.
Not just Christmas. Anytime.
See you for Emmy season and Sundance.
Please do. Please come back. Everybody hang tight. We'll get ready for our live performance. We'll be back in a jiff, guys. See you in a minute. Bye. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Guys, look at these lovely ladies in the house.
How's everybody doing?
Welcome, Priska. Hey, girl.
I missed you guys.
I know, guys.
you too.
Priska's like sort of does this segment. We're getting there. We're getting back.
Yeah.
Where she comes on, she tells us like where she went to eat.
I eat everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
What we
I eat
gotta
all the
try.
things.
So I
Yeah.
think in January you'll be back with that, maybe.
I think so.
I think in January she'll be back with that.
Definitely in January.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like start making a list, checking it twice.
And you're getting hitched soon.
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next
Next
week.
week. Yeah. I know. It's all happening.
Damn.
Doing it in Joshua Tree. I'm not wearing my room because I'm getting it cleaned. I didn't know that was a thing.
Very valid.
Like, you know, like you have to get it cleaned and
Right.
there's like chemicals and, you know, to make it all shiny and shit. So.
Do you have any anxiety with it not being on your finger right now? Are you like, what if they lose my ring?
I keep catching myself like, okay, it's at the
cleaners.
cleaners. It's fine.
How long does it take to clean a ring, by the way?
Like a couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
They haven't had it for a couple days or anything like
No,
that.
no.
So you don't want that fiance to be
it's
like,
okay.
I know she did not go on air without her ring.
Let me just put a placeholder.
She is not single, gentlemen. Not single.
However,
Mara, are you single, guys?
gentlemen.
Mara's
Mara's a new friend of the show. Thanks for coming, Mara.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Her
Yeah.
voice is gonna blow you.
I already know.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, favorite person to sing with. She's got a great EP out too, so you guys gotta check
We'll
her
have to.
out.
So one EP at a time. First EP, you guys have a Christmas EP out
We
right
just
now.
came out with
just
the Christmas
came out.
EP. Please go check it out. It's
Yes.
called First Christmas Without You. We're going to do one of the original songs on there and then a Christmas classic.
Love.
Just to kind of get everyone in the mood.
Oh, let me get ready.
I know. Is that reindeer right here? But yeah, Mahrah wrote the title track, and it's just been really fun playing it in the background while we're making cookies.
So did that happen to you, Mahrah? Were you like in a solid relationship, had some Christmases together, the relationship ended, and it was the first Christmas without them?
Oh, she's a good interviewer.
Yes. Yeah, actually, this year.
This coming Christmas?
Yeah.
Is gonna be the
First
first
one.
Christmas without them.
Yes.
How you doing? How you feeling?
Fine.
Oh, she's good. She's good. You know what? They're in the corner listening to your EP crying.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that is fine by me.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well, way to bounce back, girl. Way to bounce back.
She asks the questions like the real questions, you know?
So how'd you guys meet? How did it happen?
So we met through musician friends.
Okay.
Yeah, and like so we had friends that were on tour, and so we joined them on tour, and then fell in love with each other.
Yep.
And
We had our own little romance.
we
Love,
did,
love,
and
love.
then you know, drinking buddies turned into singing buddies, turned
yeah.
into music. You know,
Yeah.
so we made beautiful musical babies out
Wow.
of the.
What did
yeah,
Granison
love
say?
story.
Look both ways, Demi?
Yeah, he said
Look both ways.
Yeah.
So they're looking
There you
both
go.
ways.
Yeah. Things happen, you know.
Right?
When,
Yeah.
When you're just like feeling things and I don't know. Yeah. So we fell in love.
Yeah.
And so how did you guys decide let's do a Christmas album together?
We were just singing together one day, and we were like,
It would just be so fun.
Yeah,
To do Christmas songs.
it'd be so
Yeah.
great. So she came over, and my fiance, he produced and engineered the album, and
Love
so
that.
it was like in our bedroom, and like we're just
Super cozy.
chill, cozy, yeah. And one of my favorite songs that's on it is a song written by Jason Mraz and Tristan Friedman. And so they dated like a million years ago, but I was like a huge Jason Mraz fan, and so that was my favorite song of all time. So it was a dream come true. So that one's called All I Want for Christmas Is Us, and it's on EP. And it's really cute.
love that
It's like the
song.
cutest song, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tristan, if you're listening,
Yes?
I fucking love you.
There you go.
Like 100%. Yeah, it's a deep, deep, deep love. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And shout out to Fiance for mixing that shit.
Hey.
Not done it without it.
You knew what you did when you
Kid.
locked him down.
I know, I trapped his ass. I did what I had to do, man. I walked in and saw this sexy drummer, and I was like, you. I'd like
over.
an order of, yeah.
There you go.
No say in the
Yeah,
matter.
I put that on my bill. I pre-ordered, put it on layaway. Yeah.
Okay, Priska.
She got it.
Yeah.
She got it. And so you have an EP coming out, or out? Is that
I
just came out?
Went out, came out last year. It's been a little while.
That's
I've been
okay.
working on some new stuff.
Cool.
Hopefully release
It is
it
sick.
sometime next year. We'll see. Yeah.
Tell the viewers the name of the EP that they can get now that's already out.
Oh, it's called Threads. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud. So.
It's a banger.
It's a
Oh,
banger.
there
It's a
you
banger.
go.
And you have some
Yeah.
good stuff that you're always pumping out.
Yeah.
I do like covers every couple of weeks, and then I have an EP out called
Yep.
State Change.
Beautiful
So
EP.
yeah, I mean,
oh my God, it moves
if you listen
me.
to them back to back and then backwards, you actually your hair will grow an inch. Shut it up.
You'll make a baby.
Yeah, you'll make a baby. Yeah,
Oh God, be careful.
use protection.
So do you both have like a love of Christmas deep inside that made you want to knock the shit out?
I'm a
Yeah.
Christmas baby. So I'm born 2 days after Christmas.
Oh.
So Christmas is my jam. I
Yep.
like came into the world with Christmas
Christmas.
decorations.
Yes.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Capricorn season.
There you go.
Demi knows. Demi knows.
Right. Wait, are you a Cap too?
January 16th.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Capricorns are the best.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
Hardworking.
Yes.
We have fun when we need to. Because it's work sometimes.
That's right.
We're very disciplined about partying.
Absolutely.
We
Good.
take
Good. I
everything
mean, good.
serious.
Yeah.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
And then your Christmas EP is on Apple Music. It's on Spotify.
Yes, and we've got some videos coming out soon too.
I love it.
Where we're
Love.
dressed in fuzzy coats.
I know.
Yep.
We're
Sitting
like
back to back.
unintentionally
Matching. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you guys did it on purpose.
No.
No.
That was
Oh.
It was
completely by accident.
totally. the prompt was wear something cozy, and she did, and I did, and then boom.
Matched.
Yeah,
then
it was
we
like this
were.
fluffy trend.
It was a very fluffy trend.
Yeah.
So if are people able to download it like on their iTunes, for example?
Yeah.
If they want to play that shit on repeat.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can add it to your Spotify playlist. You can add it to your iTunes playlist. You can download it. You can. It's even on YouTube. So anywhere you listen to music, you can
Love.
find it.
Yeah.
Love.
You just go and add it to your Christmas playlist. You know what I mean?
Gonna do that.
And add these ladies to your social media.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them your handles.
I'm at Priska Music. Priska with the K, Music with the K.
And I'm Mahrah Music, Mahrah. We got a lot of H's in there. Mahrah Music.
Oh, right, yeah. She's got a really fun account too, so you guys should
there you
definitely
go.
follow.
You both have very cute accounts.
Well, you have very cute. You have very cute.
We're just so cute.
And I'm loving the new name of the show.
Thank
I'm
you.
obsessed with it. Yeah, I'm
Thank
really
you,
proud of you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So, trying to make shit happen over here like
Yes,
everybody else.
and girl power.
That's right. That's right.
100%. Yeah.
So, I mean, I love to talk to you guys, but I'm also super excited about this music
Yes,
situation.
the fans have been waiting.
Oh, we're here to do music? Well, I guess we can play them a little something.
Thanks, ladies. Thank you. Thank you.
I guess because if that's what we're here for.
Why not?
Chill in the air, it's that time of year again. Looking at all the lights, seeing all the cheer. Doesn't mean a thing without you here to share. Missing the way you'd hold back the storm, the way you'd keep me warm. What am I gonna do on my first Christmas without you? Filled the air, snowflakes melting in my hair. Now not a thing seems bright, good tidings never near. No more candy flavored kisses left for us to share. Missing the way you always felt like home, now the roof is torn. What am I gonna do on my first Christmas without you? Frosted window panes, candles gleaming inside, painted candy canes on a tree. Santa's on his way, he's filled his sleigh with things for you and for me. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your New Year's dreams come true. And this song of mine in 3/4 time wishes you and yours the same thing too. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your New Year's dreams come true. And this song of mine in 3/4 time wishes you and yours the same thing too.
That was so whimsical. I loved it.
Thanks, everyone.
Beautiful.
We got to bring that Christmas cheer to
You
y'all.
ladies harmonize so well together.
I mean, right? She's incredible.
Oh,
You're both
Yeah,
incredible.
girl,
You
It is so fun to sing together.
complement each other so
you
well.
guys hit that true. I almost teared up. I was like, oh.
Wait, are there going to be live shows of this situation?
Well, we did one last week.
Yeah.
Which is always my problem. I always come here like the day after a show, which is like a problem. Yeah, but we'll probably do like a live stream on our own or something.
Okay.
I'll send you the link for
Okay.
it.
Please
yeah,
do.
because we got to do more Christmas.
Yes.
Steak snowflakes.
Seize the holiday while you can,
Yes,
ladies.
100%.
Ah,
But
so
we love
good.
it.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thanks
You
for
guys are so
having
warm and
us.
toasty and
Oh my
magical.
gosh. We love it. We're going to get some hot cocoa now. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is just a reminder that, holiday packages need to be out ASAP. If you haven't sent out your holiday cards, you should because it's between seasons. So with that, here's Chrissy's holiday card.
Oh my god.
Because she loves the holidays so much, I had to.
Oh my god.
Debbie.
It's like that bridesmaids moment where she's like, I bought you a trip to Paris.
Oh, guys, Debbie's the cutest.
Oh my god. I love these being between two besties is like the best. You just feel love. Yeah. Flowing that way, flowing this way.
Oh, Merry effing Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone. This is not our final show.
It's
We have
not.
next week.
They do have next week.
Yeah. Okay? Demi won't be with us next week, sadly. That's okay. She'll be,
okay.
wrapping presents and shit or something like
Doing
that.
important stuff.
Y'all know me.
But she'll be back with us in January.
Yes, I will. Right before my birthday.
Oh, we're doing a birthday episode, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I don't really celebrate. Someone convinced me to do a birthday episode. I'm having on a guest who's. Anyways, we'll get into it next year, guys.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
we'll
fine.
wait for 2019.
Let's
Let's stay in 2018.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here and now.
Yes. Demi, where can people find, follow, and support you as well?
Oh, I'm at Demi Janelle. That's DemiJanell. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Get it. Find, follow, and support these lovely ladies. Once again, girls, what's your IGs?
Priska Music.
And Mahrah Music.
Don't forget the H's.
Yeah.
And Chrissy.
Oh, yeah, you can find, follow, and support me too if you want. I am Chrissy Carpenter. There you go.
There you go.
Ladies, would you play us out?
Yeah. Oh, we do. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Thank
Oh,
you for
this
watching
is one of my
Feels
faves.
Unfiltered.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all the children call their favorite time of the year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere. Yuletide by the fireside and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all the children call their favorite time of year. bells in the air, beauty everywhere. Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, we'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the years.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.